While. Hey, we are back. Welcome back to the Wileyverse. We've been on vacations and holidays and all kinds of stuff going on. So we are getting back into it, back to Kansas in the Savage Rift's apocalyptic future. I am joined, as always, by Mitch, playing the Glitter Boy, Plato, with his AI companion, Sugar. Glitter Boys are big, shiny mecha that have a huge gun. We also have Dayton here, playing a dog boy, wrapped in power armor, wrapped in sadness, some angst. Emo dog boy.
Mostly hair.
Mostly
hair.
I feel like every time they crack your power armor, it's like a little
hair
tumbleweeds of hair comes out. Like, God.
I'm Wiley, I'm the GM. I'm also running the NPC Shawnee, who is a magically tattooed Atlantean undead slayer. Who I don't think she has actually slayed any undead since she's gotten
I was going to say, we haven't encountered anything at all.
Skelebats are the closest you've got to. Yeah. I mean, you have killed a bunch of dead boys. They call themselves that for a reason, I guess.
I mean, even at the very beginning, the first thing we fought were those flaming dog things. Those
magmaws or whatever they were.
Magmaws. What about the Halloween episode? We fought a bunch of stuff at the castle.
There were Skelebats.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But they were self-resurrecting Skelebats that can use people parts in their places.
That's
which is kind of cool.
That's close. Right?
Yeah. I guess I'm supposed to have like some patriotic theme for
tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
There's not too much going on. All right, well.
How are you supposed to incorporate Independence Day into Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, that's like, Robert asked that, and I'm like, there really is no nations? And not all of you are from the same place?
We're all so far from home.
Your enemy is wearing red, white, and blue.
Yeah. You think it may be a symbol.
You cast Star Spangled Banner. A giant cloth appears full of stars.
Fireworks. That's what you need to do, is just cantrip fireworks constantly during the session. Alright, but we're here in Savage Rifts. Just a little recap. Savage Rifts is a post-apocalyptic, magical, far future game. So there's mechs, there's magic. It's basically D&D with power armor and robots and rockets and stuff. Our group has gone to Kansas to investigate the goings-on in Kansas, and all is not right in Kansas. There's all kinds of things going on in Kansas. There's weird witches that are coming through and corrupting things, rifts being opened, livestock being tainted. There's a war going over in Wichita between the Coalition and a mercenary band called the Ironworkers Union that they're trying to avoid.
I forgot about the tainted livestock.
That was from the previous game.
I know.
You guys have not encountered tainted livestock yet.
Those fucking things.
You have not encountered witches yet. The witches. You've just heard about them. You've heard people
Why you keep using that word yet, though?
Yet. When in Kansas. Kansas has a lot of things going on. There's gargoyles, there's Coalition, there's witches, there's a huge chunk of land nearly floating on one side of it that no one can get around or over top of. So our group has been tasked to find a cyber knight who is associated with their allies back at Castle Refuge. His name is Praxis, and the only lead of Praxis is with these brothers, the brothers Vernon, two magically inclined people who have also been tasked to try to find out what's going on in Kansas. So they're chasing the brothers Vernon, who are chasing all the tales of all the weirdness going on in Kansas. It's cat and mouse and mouse and mouse.
You made them sound cooler than they really were.
They actually just kind of bumbled around and screwed up and almost died every session.
That's why you said, why are you saying you haven't met him yet? I'm like, because the decisions we make always lead to the fucking monsters.
They just skirted the outskirts of Wichita, and were attacked by Coalition because Coalition is having a war with the Ironworkers Union there. They have finished off 2 Coalition Samuses that were sent out to harry them and made their way to a path, a little pathway, roadway out of Wichita, which the folks down at the orchard told you the Vernons were going to go take back into Greater Kansas and towards the... And
at the orchard, we basically found friendly people that asked us to go away, right?
Yes. They said that they were going to go check on the Coleman and Touch farms, which is in the northwest portion of Kansas, so that they were going to head up to this road and take the road down to Coleman and Touch. So that's what you guys did. You followed their footsteps, and now you're at that road. So you can go if you'd like. Or you can, just head right into Wichita, guns blazing, and kill some Coalitions, some Ironworkers.
Well, I mean, we already blasted at a sniper. We already took down 2 Samus.
You never shot at the Ranger. You just pointed.
Oh, it's
you aimed at him and he went away.
Right, that's cool. And then Samus showed up, and then I watched Beats over here and slay an innocent person.
You and Shawnee are probably walking together at the moment, away from him.
Showed up.
And we can't just keep letting him do that,
Yeah. I haven't seen him do it since I haven't seen him do it before, so maybe we should have a talk with him later about it.
Anyway, killing...
It's okay, we're still friends. You're like, oh, fuck this.
Killing Coalition pointing a gun at you was one thing. Killing Coalition broken on the ground is another. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how our old friend found him. Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, bum. Right. So you want to keep heading towards Coleman and Touch?
Yeah.
It makes sense. We're this far anyway. We've traveled as far as we can. Or as far as we have, excuse me.
It doesn't take you very long.
But I think that, just clarification real quick, I think the last time we were talking, just so I can kind of get the bearings, you described as kind of going through a pass where the Samuses were coming through.
No. It was, so you were next to the city, but you weren't really at a pass or anything. I mean, it's still Kansas, much more old Kansas around here. So large, flat, open ground. That's why they were coming down, spreading out, and doing their little...
Was it deserty, or is it still like scrub grass and stuff?
It's scrub grass, yeah.
Things have come back. Okay, so we're describing like current Kansas, but in the future, so it's flat.
Right.
Cool. All right.
Now, not all of Kansas looks like that still. But from what you've seen, like you went over the Faraday fields, which are all scorched. You've gone to the orchard, which is obviously weird. You've been to Dodge City, and I think that's it. So you've just seen kind of standard Kansas with a little bit of weirdness here and there. Okay, but it looks like standard Kansas.
Just in my mind, for some reason, it might be from the illustrations from the book. I figured we were over some sort of sandy area.
No,
cool. All right.
Just open plain next to you saw the city next to you. There's some rubble of suburbs nearby. That was about it. But yeah, they were just spreading out in open terrain. That's why it was kind of so easy to pop them. They didn't have any cover.
Gotcha. So
you're going down a long and windy, ancient Kansas state parkway. Just what used to be something. There used to be fence posts on one side. You can see pieces of fence here and there sticking up. What used to be 2 lanes of asphalt, which have been pounded into the ground, and it just stretches off into the horizon. And it's starting to get dusk-ish as your travels have taken you to the orchard and up here and all around. It's been several days since you left Dodge, but it's getting towards the end of this day. You figure you got a couple hours of travel still, a couple hours of light if you want to keep going. And, of course, you guys have full optics, so it's not like you need to stop.
True, but if it's been a couple of days, it might be nice to get out of seat.
And you've stopped on the way to the orchard and stuff and relaxed and gotten out.
Do you want to push to the orchard and arrive at night and scope it out, or do you want to go in the day and appear friendly?
Oh, and you're not anywhere near the farm. The farm is
Oh.
The farm is past Dodge City, just in the northeast. So, like, you came... you actually, like, you had the lead for the farm already, and you had the lead for the lake down here, but you chose to go to the orchard to see where they were last, and they told you they went there. So now, like, you have to go up, and you're going to take this road, and it's going to take you a couple days back to get back to it. So this is just the start of a several days travel towards that farm, factory farm.
Well, then, how far away are we now from Wichita, where we saw that basically we've stirred some stuff up?
You're still pretty close, so you might want to put some distance before you get out of armor.
We were straight, like,
Yeah.
literally where we were at when they attacked us.
Well, let's pick up the pace a little bit for the last couple of hours, give that last little push, and try to put some distance between here.
Is this pathway going to go by Dodge City at all, or is it?
It goes like this one specifically circumvents it.
Okay.
But you can head down that way if you want. I mean, if you want to go back to Dodge City and hit up your hotel again and do whatever you need to do, it's on the way.
I'm down for either. We've been out here. It's nice. The weather's okay right now. That's
But
silly.
you also don't know if you're gonna like pass the Vernons, or if they got ambushed and did something else. So your thought was originally to follow the exact path they took, as you've been told by first the university and now the orchard.
Something tells me if those idiots can do it, we can do it. That's player knowledge.
Those idiots. That's intimate player knowledge, as it was you.
So everyone that doesn't have any idea what's going on. I think we've said before that Dayton and I are newer to tabletop gaming or whatever. Our very, very first game was Rifts, and so we're recycling some of these characters for the story. And the Vernon brothers were actually me and my brother. So it's easy to insult the two of them.
They made some fun decisions. Alright, so which way are you going?
Might as well stay on the path. We'll push on for, a couple hours or so.
We really haven't expended anything despite the shuffling. But, we're fresh despite the travel, yeah.
We want to get away from Wichita, though, because we don't want anything to do with this.
That's why I said I think that we should pick the pace up for the last couple of hours, put some distance, and then go to bed early kind of thing.
The one good thing about this as well is this path, this road, is that unless the Ironworkers Union are specifically sending someone to the factory farm, there's no reason for anyone to be on it. Versus if you started heading right to Dodge, they go back and forth between Dodge quite a bit. So you might get interrupted by some asshole Ironworkers Union groups going back and forth for
I'm pretty sure they're
R&R and that. After that bar fight. For just wait until one's in an Ultimax.
I don't know what that means.
It's a power armor.
I'm just joking.
It's actually
I figured it out as I was saying.
the largest power armor that is still considered power armor, even though the pilot in it doesn't actually put his arms and legs into the suit's arms and legs. He's in a little cockpit, and his arms are in actuators controlling it, so it's still considered a power armor. But it's getting to that robot level where you're a robot power armor, or robot armor pilot instead of a
Avatar
power armor.
style.
Yeah.
Inside the cockpit.
So, you guys kind of pick up the pace because you want to put some distance between you and Wichita, get some good traction, and you just have the adrenaline of the battle going through you. So as the sun is going down, up ahead on the roadside, you start to see, between your specks of visions and magnification, you start to see some rubble and things strewn about. And there's, rocks and old rusted cars and other kinds of things that have been alongside the road, but this looks like a higher concentration of stuff, and it's not as overgrown and covered.
We should definitely stop before we get to that. He smells a trap. That's what sound the glitter boy makes when it stops.
Yeah.
The squeaky joint. Imagine every step.
Like the squeaky shoes.
Yeah. Or high heels. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Looks good. Sounds horrible.
Anyway.
So I was just saying, I think we should stop before we get to it. Kind of observe.
Oh yeah. So you all stopped.
Honestly. I mean, I can scope it out probably the best, right? Should it be like a notice?
I think you both have 50 times mag, unless you have 100 times mag.
I think mine sounds like. Oh wait.
I have no idea how much time
Yeah.
I have.
It's 50 based on the basic. I gotta print your sheet out. Should be right. Top left phone.
Full electronic suite.
I'm pretty sure it's 50.
Yeah, we'll go with that's fine. We'll go with 50 just for this.
Let me see the one with the gun on it. With that. It is right in the top right up here. As with all power armor, Glitter Boy has advanced communications 3 mile. Full sensor suite with HUD, heads-up display, readouts, granting +2 on all nose checks, and incorporating 360-degree radar, thermal imaging, and night vision optics enhancement with 50 times magnification. So it's the same thing that is on all power armor, which is what you have as well.
So I don't know if you need this or not anymore.
If you want to put it between you or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's your maneuvers if you want to take some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so you both have the same optic suite.
So let's look.
Notice +2.
There's that awesome roll you wanted right there.
Yep, on the notice check.
On the notice.
Dang, we noticed the shit out of everything.
What did you get?
19.
And that's with the +2s?
Yeah.
Oh no, so mine was
17.
19. Mine was 19 too. Then yeah.
You had a 15.
Did I see 15?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 15. So
Because
17.
you were rolling an
17,
8,
that's
so
right.
8
So,
plus
yeah.
7.
8 and 7.
Versus 10
So,
plus 7.
17, 19. You see that first off, there's no heat signatures coming off anything. Second off, there's no power signatures. There's no heat radiating. There's no odd fluctuations at all. It looks like a large vehicle of some sort, but the way it is sitting is not level, so it doesn't look like it's functional, or it looks like there's something wrong with it. And the smaller things look like they may have been smaller vehicles or parts of larger vehicles. It looks like something blew up a convoy or attacked a convoy here, and this is what remains.
So the trap was sprung a while ago, or the ambush already occurred.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a look at it, or do you want to walk around it?
Yeah, we should probably tread carefully off the side of the path. Is there any cover? No.
Nope. Long Kansas Road.
I was about to say, thanks, Kansas.
Right. If looking around, you see that there's the remnants of what may have been an irrigation ditch off the side of the road, opposite. Like, so the big thing is on the right side of the road. There might have been an irrigation ditch off to the left side of the road, maybe about 50 to 70 feet off. But it's just like, it's enough that like Shawnee could lay down and you wouldn't be able to see her, but both of you in power armor, so it would cover your ankles.
You should take your power armor off and crawl through it. I'll cover you.
No.
No. I mean, we could send her that side and we can go around the other.
She also offers up her, I can turn invisible, I can fly.
Yeah. I just hate, I know that that's great, but I always hate sending her out ahead like that. Using her magic.
It's like, if we're about to rest for the night, then I'm going to regain it all back pretty fast. I didn't use much in the last fight.
Why don't we do the whole, like, you go this, I'll go this way, you go that way, and she goes in the middle invisible.
Sure.
Okay. So who's going on the side with the vehicle itself?
Let's split this party right
Let's split this party right up.
It's been a couple weeks. This isn't splitting the party, this is covering ground.
So there's a cool YouTube video
that
today.
far apart.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't splitting the party. Splitting the party is like, you go to Kansas and I'll go to fucking Texas.
There's a cool YouTube video today about this game designer, and he worked for Wizards of the Coast when they had the Star Wars license, and they put out a D20 version of Star Wars. And to launch it, they took over, I think it was Planet Hollywood in LA or wherever they were at, San Diego. No, Seattle. It's got to be Seattle. I think that's where Outsi is. Anyway, so they were going to have, they took it over, like completely shut it down, they bought it out. They had food there free for all the people that were going to attend and play the demo for the game. And this 80-year-old British couple came there and wanted to do something touristy, and they saw that Planet Hollywood was there, so they walked there and like, nope, it's closed down because of this game demo. And like, well, if we play the game, can we come in? And like, sure. So they had, it was supposed to be 15-minute sessions, and they had 30 minutes worth of game content. So they wouldn't like, you would never finish a session.
Yeah, of
like,
course not, yeah.
You would always have enough content to get through the 15 minutes. And these two people came down, they 70s, 80s-year-old couple, never played anything. So the guy had to take some time to explain what a role-playing game was and why it goes. And he even said, like, he had to explain this is like a radio drama where you're going to act out and you're going to talk out your parts, right? And then if a question comes up, if you succeed or fail, you're going to use these stats on a sheet and a die roll to simulate randomness. And he's like, okay, I think I got it. I was like, so what's this game all about? It's like, okay, well, there's this empire.
Oh, so he didn't even know anything about Star
No.
Wars. Oh, God.
And he's like, there's this empire, and they're like this, and they're evil, and blah, blah. He's like, so they're space Nazis. And he's like, yeah, they're pretty much space Nazis. It's like, and we're and we're fighting against them. We're freedom fighters. Like, yeah. So we're the rebellion. And he said, we're the resistance.
Resistance, yeah.
And he's like, okay. And the wife turns and goes, well, Lieutenant, I think you should take this one, take the reins on this one. He goes, all right, good. Now, I see we all have med packs. What does that do? It's like, oh, he's like, okay, good. Turns to his wife, well, lady, you should take all the people's med packs, and while we're in combat, if any of us get hurt, you can come up and heal us without break in the fire.
Like he created a white mage on accident.
And he didn't care what people were playing, and there was like these two teenagers who were just excited to be there and play, but he was a lieutenant in World War II. So he's like, okay, we're going to set up in this hallway. They're using miniatures. And like, we're going to set up in this hallway. You have a crossfire here, this and that. A thermal detonator. Is that a type of explosive? Yes. Okay, I put one over the door before we open it in case the enemies come through, and then I can set it off. And he's like, going and going and going. Now we have an E-Web repeating blaster. What is that? It's a tripod. So it's a heavy heater. Like, okay, we have this vehicle right here. Let's put that in the back and this and that. And he goes, remember, everyone, we're in a commando rush here, which means we are not trying to hold ground. That means we ignore everything we've already passed and focus on the mission objective. He said 12 minutes. In that 12 minutes, the explanation of a role-playing game to an 80-year-old couple, 12 minutes, he had wiped everything in that base. Because of his tactics. Just bam, 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 bam. Like,
I like the part where he's like 17-year-old kids, listen, you would do this.
Oh, the 17-year-old kids are like, because there was no dissension, there was no nothing.
Hell
it was like, hell yeah. Where should I be? Okay. Fire, this is what I do. All right, okay, I just shoot this. Got it. They're like, yes. Killing. And like 12 minutes in, he had to say, okay, we're supposed to go for 15 minutes. I was supposed to have 30 minutes with the stuff, but you win. Like, you win. You beat the game. Like, so that was a cool tactical.
Not supposed to hold around. So having said that, let's see how Dayton and Mitch do with their tactical choice.
So let's get this party started. No.
Just kidding. But
no. You guys, which one's going on the side with the big vehicle?
Truck.
You're on the opposite side. She turns visible, starts heading down the middle. You move forward, and as you get closer and closer, it gets darker and darker as time passes, and does that when it gets to night. And you come up to what is about maybe a day and a half, 2-day-old battle. You can reconvene. There's nothing here, no threats scanned. You swoop out, look around, and check. There really isn't anything there. But there is a large ATV, armored. Looks like it was carrying a commando group. It couldn't hold more than 5 people. There's at least 3 other Outrider-type vehicles, motorcycles and hover bikes and things like that, which are also in pieces. Or wrecked. The battle seemed to have been fairly quick, and from what it seems, was not unexpected, because the way the vehicle is set up, the way the big vehicle is set up, it looks like it was sitting. It doesn't look like it was moving when it was attacked. Also, it's facing the city, so it's facing Wichita. So if these are... It has Ironworkers logos, but it's pointing back towards Wichita, so it wasn't going away from Wichita, which is the Ironworkers headquarters. Make any investigations or notices? Investigation, right? Is that one of the? No. I can't remember. I get my games confused.
Yeah.
I mean, so just give me what's...
There is investigation technically.
Okay.
In here, but.
So you have investigation?
I do.
Okay.
I have noticed.
So you make me a notice, and you make me an investigation.
That changes
2.
that die type. 2?
2.
A whole 2?
A whole 2. Oh, a whole 3? Go fuck yourself.
Do I have +2 to that?
You get +2 to your... You get +2 to your notice. You will get +2 because of the sensor, so we can analyze.
So I got a 4 then.
Ooh, you want to keep that because she got a 2 and a 2 for her investigation as well. So is anyone bidding it up, or you just want to?
I'll bid it up. That was pretty low. I'll add a 6 to it. So,
nice.
So 10 to 14 then.
Okay. You want to? No. Because notice is different than investigation.
Ooh, this is a heavy investigation we just did right now.
I know. I just want 9.
Okay. So you notice that let's see. There's not a whole lot of... This is tough. It's tough to to differentiate the notice and the investigate, because you're not noticing anything. You notice that there's no bodies. You notice that the truck is looted. There's nothing of value here. It's already been stripped down, if there's anything like that. There's no ammo left behind. There's no people left behind. There's no bodies. There's no nothing. Everything's been taken, but they left the larger pieces because of who knows why. Who knows who took it. So investigation tells you a couple things. This vehicle was parked here waiting for someone and was forcibly moved off the road by something of great force that left no tracks or marks. There is a cut in the side of the vehicle, in the APC, made by a chainsword, and a wicked blood splatter around it as well. So someone was killed up against that vehicle with a chainsword.
I was like, did I notice any penises? No. Alright, so...
There's... It looks like one of the vehicles was ripped in half. On one of the bikes. So, you can actually see the stress marks and things like that. Something very strong tore it in half. You see impacts of force, but not explosives. On the side of the battle. You do see impacts of explosives where, you guess their adversaries were, and there's nothing there to show that there was any casualties or any wrecked vehicles or anything on that side. So this thing was pointed at Wichita, waiting for someone coming down this road as you were. There's a confrontation. There's a whole bunch of explosive marks and all that kind of stuff over here, but nothing. And then over here, there's a bunch of force impacts, torn apart, torn asunder. There's some weird pockmarks in some vehicles, but there's nothing that remains of what made the pockmarks.
Are there any tracks leading away, or is it all just road traffic?
Yes, there are. So, leading away is one. So, you're starting to see, and now because you're on this rocky asphalt that's been kind of pounded in, but from here, from this battle, a tracked motorcycle went farther north or more northly.
Away from the road.
Away from the road. Okay. So the road is going northeast. So a motorcycle track went north. And this motorcycle is heavy. There's either a lot on it or it's more than just a motorcycle.
Beats, do you smell any magic? I love the physical role play. You have to touch your visor to make it go up. 8.
7+ to tracking or no?
Yep.
7.
There was magic here. It's very faint. You may, unless you get better than 7, you may not be able to identify if you smell it again or not. It just smells like there's magic here.
Okay.
The other thing you notice is that now that you're specifically looking for tracks and things like that, is that through the impacts of the asphalt and all that stuff, you see that there is another vehicle that probably it's more fresher tread marks in between the asphalt that are continuing to drive down the road.
So the group that made it through is spread up too.
So the group that fought here split up into 2. One went north-ish. It went more north, but still east, and the other one continued east.
They split the party. These must be the guys we're looking
for. Right. It has to be them.
That's the first thing I was going to say. Do we know the nature of the Brothers Vernon? Do we know that their attributes and things like that? We know one is a ley line
the university
walker.
Told us what they were, right?
Right.
The ley line walker and
between the university and Daisy, you know that you're dealing with a ley line walker, a techno wizard, and a full conversion bull.
Gotcha. And your magic smell is not enough to tell you whether it was Leyline Walker or...
It would if you got better.
That's okay. But this still smells kind of the same. The chainsword damage, the unidentifiable pockmarks and damage and the lack of bodies just means I think that Wichita came back and got these guys. They were waiting for them. That's what I think. But it looks like we're on the right path. Now we just have to decide if we want to follow the motorcycle or if we want to follow the vehicle. But we can rest on it.
This is about the only cover there is for miles. So if you just want to set camp right here behind the vehicle, in the shadow of the vehicle, it's probably literally the only armor or cover you're going to have
on the opposing Wichita side. So
do we fit inside the bigger vehicle at all, or is it that trash?
You could if you were out of your armor.
Okay.
If you wanted to stay inside the vehicle, you could climb in there.
We could do it in watches. You can stay in there while I stay out for the first watch.
Wow.
Yep. Just cycle 3 watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea.
Okay.
Because like I said before, we've stayed pretty fresh. It might make more sense to continue on pretty fresh,
So, who's first watch?
I'll take the first watch.
Who's second watch? She can be dead of night if you want, but she has She has a tattoo to be able to see in the dark.
I
But
was going to say it would be better for her anyway, because, like I said, the early light and the late light and the early light would make more sense to have an armored guy outside of the truck ready to go.
well, so you guys have full infrared night vision and
It's like
360 degrees sonar and all that.
One of us should be in the middle of the night.
Because you have the sensor
Because we
suites.
have the sensors, the night vision, and all that
All right.
jazz.
So
she would go third.
okay, well, let's do that.
So
Then.
you first, you second, her third.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that gives her more interrupted sleep, and you gain back PPE faster in sleep. So
We should take that into consideration more, I think.
all right. First watch. Notice. Don't forget your +2 from your sensor suite. I'm assuming you're still in your armor.
Yeah. 6.
You notice nothing.
No, you do notice that
I know, it's just beautiful out here.
I mean, it is kind of nice. Like, it's you got. I mean, Arkansas, northern Arkansas, and the Ozarks is pretty nice.
It is.
But you're out here. You can see for miles, which is either unnerving to you or not. But you came from Texas, so it's probably pretty par for the course.
I have real life family in Oklahoma too, where it's like, whoa,
Yeah. Whoa. There's.
see the bend of the earth.
You hear, you hear insects, you hear birds, you hear things of the night just kind of doing their thing, which is nice to hear in this post-apocalyptic world. There is one portion, probably just like, it's deep into your watch, you're just about to wake up, beats here, and something happens in Wichita. There's a series of like 3 really loud explosions, like probably not fired from handheld or even robot armor stuff. Like this stuff was either dropped or planted.
Are we in the line of sight of it? Like I can see.
You're past like the 5 mile curvature, but you start to see. You don't see anything when the 3 thuds, the 3 loud explosions. But afterwards, there's pretty much a flurry of almost like fireworks style, 4th of July reference,
Robert,
like
there you go.
fireworks style, like,
Yeah.
and you can see like the sky above you lighting up, or above Wichita lighting up. A couple stray tracer rounds or lasers pierce the sky.
So they're shooting up. That was my question.
Well, a couple strays, like it could be that they're shooting a SAMUS or whatever, and it's just that it happens. It's not constant fire up,
Okay,
but it's just a couple.
battle has broken
But a battle is broken out. There's 3 loud thuds, and then a battle breaks out, and it's intense for about 30 minutes, and then it dies down. reaching through into the vehicle in your glitter boy.
It's your watch. I would definitely wake everybody up and skinny what I just saw right now.
Yeah.
That it looks like there's some sort of battle going on in Wichita. That might
Need
not
to
be.
wake everybody up? Or...
Like, yeah, we'll just wake you up and she. Fuck her. Yeah, it probably would make more sense to wake you up. Yeah.
Just wake him up.
Well, if she's still recovering, we'll try to decide what to do from here. But
Right.
it might not be safe to stay here anymore, especially if people start to flee or if the battle comes this way.
Right. So your combat expertise and knowledge coming in, that if something major happened, they may be rushing people out for triage and medical or whatever. But again, you are on a road that goes nowhere for a very long time. So this wouldn't be a first pick unless other roads were compromised. But you are
like to
on
compromise
a
roads,
road
yeah.
which is still a safe, smoother ride for a lot of vehicles and things like that. So either be aware or move.
It's up to you. You're the boss.
And you don't know what the tactical. I mean,
We don't even know what's going on. It's
the tactics of the coalition,
Yeah.
but they're on the opposite side. So they're holding eastern Wichita. You don't know how the Ironworkers Union works. They may work more guerrilla. They may work more militant. Organized. You're not sure.
It's up to
They
you.
could be completely.
Do you want to wait another watch, or do you want to move now? Or we can stay the whole night.
You haven't heard much after it's quieted down. And it's been about 20, 30 minutes since it's quieted down. So
I'd say let's at least go through one more watch. Or try to get at least, you a little bit of rest.
I'll do my best to sleep after
yeah.
that. Yeah.
You crouch your power armor down and open it up right next to the...
Definitely, yeah. I was going to say, getting how they...
Or you could stand it up and ask Sugar to keep scanning.
No, I got to get out of that. Actually, I don't think I need Sugar to keep it standing while I rest.
No, but to keep scanning.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it's time to get out of this.
You have found that she does need downtime.
I'm sure, yeah.
So, keeping her up is a thing as well.
Yeah, so definitely go into the vehicle and rest.
Yeah, and you tell her to put it into downtime as well.
Yeah.
So, for you, mask open, mask closed, a mix of the both.
Closed.
Okay. So, not worried about supernatural stuff. You're just keeping scan on normal things. Go.
Notice, right?
Notice.
I think you... Oh.
Right? Wrong one. 8?
Okay. You're sitting there, you're listening, you're hearing, again, the signs of nature. You hear a couple thumps and rat-a-tat-tats from Wichita every here and there, as is normal. But then, all the animal noises, all the insect noises stop. And you can tell, and what'd you get, a 9?
8.
8. So it comes out of a wave as the memo passes. It's like, hey, shut up, shh. But it comes as a wave from the west. So you can hear them and then the quieting just goes west to east. So not from Wichita.
Got it.
Kansas sounds wonderful.
I was like, so something is headed our way, direction, sort of.
Could be
Or
around.
you just know that whatever it was freaked everything out from that direction on.
And then, it could pick back up in a minute after everything thinks it's safe again, or there could really be something coming. Also, did anyone talk to you about the weird anomalies of ley energy here? I can't remember if the university or anyone talked to you about it. Or no, did the Faraday fielders talk to you about it?
The Faraday field talked to us a little bit. I think the Orchard also explained rift energy to us a tiny bit too, about how, because we were asking them, what is this? None of us had ever seen anything like this, so I think they explained a little bit.
You do know that there are outbreaks of ley storms here, but there's also something that's called
that thing to the west.
ley spouts.
Okay, we did talk about that.
Which is
we haven't talked about that in this
yeah.
game, but we our character knowledge, our player knowledge. Sorry, of ley spouts.
So yeah, no one has talked to you about ley spouts here.
We haven't mentioned ley spout yet.
I didn't know if anyone had given you the what's up of
the guys that led us through
the Faraday fielders. Yeah,
they told us a lot about things, but I don't know if they mentioned specifically spouts.
I was going to say, I thought they were really specifically talking about rift energy and harnessing, and then when we got to the Orchard, it was more of the use of natural ley energy. That's what I got from it, but maybe you're right, maybe you're not. I don't know.
I couldn't.
My first thought was when everything went quiet that it was a storm, because that's
yeah. If you guys don't remember, then there's a pretty good chance that you guys don't remember.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of information thrown at you over many days. So
stuff we had never studied before.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So you don't know. This could be anything. It could just be insects and animal life being cautious. There could be something out there. It may even be going, north, south. May not be coming towards you. Who knows? Like, hell, it could be a fucking badger that spooked things. It doesn't matter. Or it could be a lava wombat.
Yeah. My thing was that as soon as I heard
wombat.
the insects went quiet, I'm like, it's a tornado. I mean, lay storm. I was like immediately like, no, I don't want no lay storms anymore. Although I'm not magical this time.
The lay spouts are pretty much like friggin' lay storm tornadoes.
Yep. Hey.
Let's just make a nexus point right here and make it also a storm.
Does anything else happen for the rest of my watch?
So you just sitting that one out?
You're ignoring the insect quietness.
I mean, I'm not really ignoring it. I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to...
Looking around.
I'm not waking anyone up yet because of it.
Oh, sorry, there was a battle in Wichita. It was almost your shift anyway.
That's why I'm asking. I'm not throwing any, salt at you.
I'm just joking.
I'm just saying, it doesn't seem that weird that I need to be like, guys, wake up, bugs went quiet.
If you, at any point, you can stop me and say you're doing something. 10 minutes go by and it's still quiet. 20 minutes. 30 minutes. 40 minutes. 50 minutes.
Don't look at me.
And the insects start chirping again.
That was a little intense. Possibly nothing. I was like,
all right, 50 minutes go by and insects start chirping again, and
15 or 50?
50 minutes.
so there's only 50 minutes into my watch. I still got...
No, and that was like an hour or two into your watch that happened. Pretty much the dead of night. Like, moon is up high. It's a thin little crescent.
There just happened to be a quiet moment.
They just all slept 50 minutes. All
Yeah,
the
there's
bugs took a nap at the same time.
All the bugs, all the owls, all the rats, all the cats,
It's buggy bedtime.
They just
all
took
the
a
field
nap at the
mice.
same time.
Just went Betty by. Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, insects. Good night, Cthulhu. All right, the rest of your watch goes uneventful.
Time to wake up, Shawnee.
All right, she wakes up.
I will tell her what happened. Like, there's this weird quiet time or everything. Like, shut up for some reason. I don't know what that was about. Nothing happened after that.
Nothing happened after that.
All right, good to know. She hops out and hops on top of the vehicle and is gonna play out her watch.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
She hops on top of the vehicle.
So, I'll explain that later. It's funny though. There's a weird board or card game that came out from Kickstarter called Constanticicle. Yes. Constanticicle.
Alright.
So you guys wake up in the morning.
Alright.
Shawnee, you gotta tell us anything about what happened during your
How
watch?
did your watch go?
Yep.
Nothing.
There's like nothing.
Alright.
There's
Bugs kept chirping and
Yep.
doing whatever.
no large breakouts of fights in the city, no bugs being quiet, no weird stuff. Guess you guys are the lucky ones.
Yes.
So I guess I'd tell James the bugs went quiet for a while.
What did you do about it?
I did not wake you up.
That's a good thing.
And did you and you tell her about the fight that happened?
What? Nothing. All right. Yeah, of course. So we explained the battle. We talked about it a little bit, see what was going on.
What's that?
Just for being so tense about the bugs.
It's just like...
That was like the calmest you've been this whole game yet. What about this card? I don't know. What about this card? Keep going. You gotta call this bluff. Yeah. Show me how long the bugs were quiet.
So it is morning in Kansas. It is winter. It's pretty chilly out. There's a hoarfrost on the ground. A slight flurry has started up just because the morning dew is out and the first light's coming through, and so.
We had a customer come into the bar one day, and he was all excited that we had Yukon Jack, and he wanted me to read the back of it to his girlfriend.
I remember it.
So
Hoarfrost,
like,
yeah.
It was like, it's like those cold and
hoary
nights.
Yeah.
Where it's better spent indoors than outside. And he's like, haha. He's like telling those hoary nights, Yukon Jack getting drunk. And I was like, spell Hoary. This means like frosty cold.
Yeah.
That's why it says cold and hoary nights. Yeah. He's like, oh, hoary. He just didn't listen to me. Like,
yeah, he didn't care.
The story was not changing in his mind. The mispronunciation of the word, or misrepresentation of the word wasn't going away. That was his story, and he was sticking with it. So I think we have two options. I think we can either follow the road northeast, or we can follow the motorcycle road.
No, the road northeast. Is it northeast or northwest?
Okay, so everything is northeast.
Okay, that's all right. I just want to make sure.
No. Sorry, northwest.
See, every
You
time
are-
you
you are
kept
heading-
doing it
yeah,
with
yeah,
your
sorry,
hands,
sorry.
like you were going this
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
but I was like,
I keep saying the wrong thing. You guys are heading
That's why I was
west out of Dodge.
Sorry.
because east of us
Wichita.
is
So
east
then-
of us is Wichita.
So then I changed it.
Right.
East of you is Wichita. West of you is Dodge.
Got it.
You are heading northwest out of Wichita. Somewhere up here is a factory farm, like a really large group conglomerate farm that is this place is known for its little family farms. This one unionized. So when people talked about it in Kansas, they said it with a bit of a angst in their voice, like, oh, those guys that are trying to muscle everyone out of their farmland. So that's the factory farm. That's where you think they were heading, and that's where this road goes.
But we did see some sort of vehicle tracks on the road,
Which go northwest, but more north than west.
So northwest, so now like this.
Yeah.
but then
So
there's motorcycle
road goes this
tracks
way,
that just goes-
other track goes that way. Yeah.
Okay.
And it looked like the motorcycle was laden, like it was a heavy motorcycle. But I think if we were going to stick with the original, now that we've gone over this again, I think if we're going to stick with the original plan of following them foot by foot, we should probably continue down the road towards the farm.
We should, yeah. The tracks go off the road,
Yes.
the ones that are heading northwest-ish.
Yep.
So do we follow those tracks, or do we just follow the road?
Well, I was saying the road has tracks from another vehicle on it.
Yeah.
Like fresh tracks from a vehicle. Then there's another
Keep
then there's a motorcycle track leaving the road. I think that these guys would probably be taking the main road, especially if the motorcycle's heavy. It could either have two people on it, or it can have that board on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could be totally wrong. Everybody's dead, and this is just whatever it is, coalition stuff. But I think if we were going to take the original plan was to follow these guys step by step, that they probably would have remained on the road.
One last thing Shawnee throws in there is that we can always find this road. It's not going anywhere. These tracks are going to be covered in snow and gone in days. That's the only consideration I have with that. Also, if I remember correctly, they went north with Praxis and he didn't come back to Dodge. So we're following the Vernon brothers to see where they left Praxis when he went to the north. And this motorcycle seems to be heading north now.
So Praxis has been seen on a motorcycle before. I think that's player knowledge. My bad.
You knew he came out here on a hover bike,
Okay, so he did come out on a motorcycle.
but you wouldn't see those tracks unless you were really good.
Because it's hovering in the background.
Hover bike.
But
Oh.
yeah, from what the university told you,
Can I use this real quick?
yeah, sure. From what the university told you,
Oh, here's the drawing
And you
notepad.
And you talked about
That's actually his letter to home.
from what the university told you, they met Praxis up in the north, left him up in the north, and all that jazz.
So I'm confirming. So this is the path. This is the motorcycle tracks. This is the other vehicle tracks, right?
No.
It actually stays on
It
the
actually
road?
stays on the road.
Okay, that's what I was getting confused about
Yeah.
earlier. I was like, I thought you made it sound like it's... Anyway.
Oh, we
No.
were leaving the road
Yeah.
both
No.
times.
Yes,
No, one,
that's why I
one
was like,
following the road
I don't want to
completely.
just follow the road. We're just ignoring the tracks.
It is much more like so. There's the main road going northwesterly, and this one starts just bending off, going more.
So let me get this right. It's kind of like
Are you gonna draw a dick?
no. It's kind of like this.
Not as drastic as you.
So
Not as north
Not
as
this
you
one
did.
anymore. Then
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to try again?
So northwest, west. So or west northwest.
So Shani wants to follow the motorcycle track.
She's saying we won't get a chance to find those again.
I think we should stick on the road, but it's your call.
Yeah. And she doesn't care if you don't. Just say like, if we get down the ways and we're like, oh, we should have followed those, then we are stuck to continuing on because we won't be able to find those again.
Which means we might find the Vernon brothers who will give us the direction of Praxis is in again without actually getting to Praxis. But,
Right.
but I don't think there's any guarantee that we're finding Praxis on the motorcycle road.
Correct.
I feel like I'm at a point where Marcus has to choose like aggressive, non-aggressive.
Yeah, there's no little like counter going down. You're like,
Let's go with the path.
The road.
Yeah.
the road or
The road, not the track. Sorry.
All right.
Road.
You continue on. Continuing on.
keep on,
And keep on keeping on.
Because we are trying to find the Vernon brothers for two reasons, kind of. So this is most likely the way they went.
And judging by the battle and all that stuff, they're probably 2 days ahead of you. And depending on their vehicle, watch schedules, things like that, they're going to be gaining on you.
Yeah.
It's because your power armors, you need a vehicle you can just hold the steering wheel. Power armors, you need to stop every once in a while. Stop your legs from moving weirdly and all that stuff. So, all right, off you go, running down the road. Except for Shani. Flying. So, she's got a little hover bike.
I'll say she has a vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and him are just running in our armors.
She's a little techno wizard hover scooter thing.
All right.
You guys run down a long, lonesome Kansas road for an entire day and see a whole lot of nothing except for two things. And you can investigate these if you want. So the first thing you see is off in a field to the south. There are these large standing stones, just rocks, like straight up pillars almost. You'd think they're man-made until you zoomed in on them and you see that they're just pillars of rock that have come out of the earth. There's one that's probably about 15 foot around, maybe 40 feet high, and the rest that are around it are about anywhere from 6 feet high, with just 2 or 3 feet around, to 15 feet high, about the same width.
Are the vehicle tracks still obvious? Like, are we able to?
You can't really tell with the frost and the snow hitting the
That
ground.
sucks. All right.
Make me a tracking You get your +2, but you're also getting -4 for just the road, the conditions, and everything.
So +2 - 4 gives you a 1?
-2. -2. So
-2?
total, yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so 1.
Your tracking is only still a D6.
Yep.
I mean, you kind of gave up the tracking life once you stopped being a coalition dog boy. So, yeah,
We're
It
now
doesn't-
just heading in the vehicle direction. Yeah.
you're heading the direction the vehicle was on. You haven't seen any indication that it went off, but the snow flurry and everything else that's going on, you're not sure you're going to see signs of it going off the road.
Sorry, so we saw the stones.
So you see standing stones. If you want to investigate them, you can.
I mean, Sugar would definitely have an interest in them.
And
some experience with them. Shawnee's probably want to take a look.
yeah,
too.
Shawnee's like, those don't look natural, obviously, but they don't look like my stone magic or the stone magic that I know about.
I'm down to take a look at it, but it just means we're going to be putting more time between our mission.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ignoring them or looking at them?
Let's go check them out.
All right. I was like, 2 Hey.
So you start heading towards them. Are you going to pop your thing at all?
Sure.
He's like,
Make
wrong
a
thing.
red rocket. Make a notice check.
Beef, I see your lipstick.
Wow, that's a good one.
8.
There is magic on these things. Magic created them. You don't feel that they are magical, but you feel that magic created them.
I would just ask Sugar if she recognizes this work. Is there anything she can get from it or do with it? That kind of thing.
She starts analyzing it, and she's like, I personally have never experienced anything like this. Give me a second, and I'm going to access some of my mother's memories. So she's going to tap into the code that was that created her. Shawnee walks up to him and lays her hand on top of one.
And rolls really well.
And like she like puts her hands on it, and she's like, and you see that the earth starts to kind of like, it looks really weird. Like you're not sure if you're seeing things or like maybe she did a trick or whatever, but it almost looks like it's not so much sinking in as it's pushing out around her hand. And she's like, pulls her hand back real fast. And about the same time, Sugar comes back and says, I have seen something similar to this before. The entity that destroyed my home, or my mom's home, Honey's home, when it started to erode or cease to exist, there were markers like this or chunks of earth like this that were taken out of the land. And
wait, so like it left their land and came into this one instead? But that's what she means. Like she's seeing the inverse.
She's seeing the inverse of this.
Okay, cool.
Like that's what she's trying to say. And Shawnee says, like, when I did what I normally do to activate stone magic, this thing tried to take me somewhere, and that somewhere felt not great.
So should we take these things down?
Like, I can try to open one of these things up or take us to wherever it goes to, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you did you skinny what Sugar said?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sugar.
Yeah.
All that stuff, yeah.
I mean, these things could come from a destroyed land, or the thing that destroyed her land is somehow affecting Kansas.
Are these things dangerous?
I don't think they're friendly.
Are we capable of? I mean, we're all pretty buff. Are we capable of destroying these things?
You want to try to knock one down?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, strength check. Armor.
Oh, I can't shoot it.
Oh, you want to shoot one? Which one? Yeah, like, you just tell me which one you're shooting at. The biggest one or the smaller one?
Let's do the strength check first. Let's do a knockdown first before I get nuts.
He's gonna shoot the boom gun like well.
Boom.
If there's anyone around here, they know we're here now.
All right. Oh, D12 plus 4. Let's look at the 6 for this too, right?
Yes.
Oh, I don't need the. I just add 4.
Yeah. D12 plus 4. To whichever's higher.
So 10, so 11, so 15.
15. All right, so you start pushing against this thing, and like it's, like if you're pushing against one of the smaller ones or mid-sized ones, this thing is not more than 4 feet in diameter of rock, of earth, like stone and some dirt and whatever, and it's standing up 15 feet tall. You should be able to just lean on this thing and have it crumple.
Unless it's deeper in. Unless
something, because it is not going down. Like you're like pushing, you hear cracking, you hear the things, some stuff is crumbling off of it, but it is completely resistant. Like it is being held, or something is supporting it in this position.
And it's not reacting to me like it reacted to her.
No.
Okay.
It's not trying to reach out and grab. I mean, your hands are digging into it, but no effects.
Gotcha.
Because she actually tried to activate it as if it were stone magic or a pyramid. She felt like she could go into this thing.
But didn't want to.
But yeah, like it felt like, whoa, like this shouldn't do that. These things are seemingly naturally made, and it shouldn't do that. She wouldn't know where she was gone. She wouldn't know if she could come back. So this thing resists your, massive strength of a glitter boy, and has some type of stone transference power, as if it were stone magic.
Yeah, so you two had your fill, or
you just want to walk away from it?
I don't really care about magic stuff. One, it kind of scares me, and two, I don't really want to.
Maybe we can just log it in the maps and let somebody know about it when we get
back to Dodge.
Back to the university area, or even if we get to Coleman and Touch.
So, off you go.
Retreat. Yeah. What's the other thing that we noticed along?
All right, so later on in the evening, you're coming up to a forest. It seems to just wind its way right through the road itself. These tall stick trees that are fairly barren. It's not like a forest with like a bunch of roots and different levels and all this stuff. It is just sticks, like long, tall, pale trees. And there seems to be a mist that constantly cloys to it. And it crosses your path.
Like the road goes through it?
The road goes through it. It looks like it grew right out from the road, or in the road, or melded with the road somehow.
Does it look like a vehicle would still be able to pass through it if they were just kind of careful, or does it look like they had to have gone a different way at a certain point?
You see that a couple of trees have been knocked down here and there, so it looks like something muscled its way through part of the path, but I tried to avoid, where there's 2 or 3 or 4, too many trees to pass.
This looks like a good place for a nap.
It is getting late, so before you go through it, you can
joking.
stop.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to go into the forest at night, or do you want to stop here for a bit? The forest itself will provide kind of an artificial cover from like large forests or anything like that, so it wouldn't be like we would be completely helpless out here.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if the forest isn't a danger itself.
How about we get closer to this forest and give it a little look-see over?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So it's like this, but no leaves and mist covering everything.
And I do a visorless
That's actually what I was picturing.
check on it.
There you go. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it seems to grow right in the center of the road and all that stuff.
I feel like we lost GT. Are we able to get a hold of him if I wrote his name down? Re-invite him or something?
I mean, he's in our past streams. We can look him up on Twitch itself, message him.
Yeah, I have his username.
Do we? I'll have to do that. So after the stream tonight, let's look him up on Twitch. Sure. See what he does. See what he streams. GT, come back.
GT phone home.
When you pop it open, there is a underlying magical nature to this place. It's not enough to baffle your senses or really like overpower anything else. Like if you were to track something coming into the forest, but there's just that background smell that this isn't a natural formation.
Alright, guys, so we had magical stones to the south. Now we got magical trees and mist in front of us.
This isn't even just a magical trees. This is like a magical growth. It's almost like there's a ley line underground or something. I mean, do you want to pass through it tonight? Do you want to wait to the evening, or do you not want to risk it and try to make it through it as quick as we can right now before it gets nighttime? Because we can still kind of see the path where...
And now you almost have tracks, because you can see where a vehicle pushed through here.
I think we should just go ahead and try to push through this tonight.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay. You head into the forest. It is eerily quiet. Like all the noises of nature and everything go away, and then like Sugar comes up and says, there is a negative decibel level here. Like something is absorbing sound. So we need to be extra aware of our sensors, other sensors.
Other sensors.
Yeah, your low light, infrared,
I thought you meant like
sonar.
I thought you meant worrying about other sensors
Oh,
sensing us.
No, she's talking about like we have to use our other senses. But she is a AI construct, so sensors.
You can't really use our hearing. That's gonna be vision.
There's something masking or dampening sound in here, so we can't rely on that as a measure of danger or whatever.
We should be able to move through without being heard, right?
Yeah. Hey, our power armors are almost stealthy.
Maybe putting some space in between them won't make it sound
Make
so
some
bad.
notice checks.
Hey,
11.
+2 or no?
Oh, does my center suite's looking at me +2? Or how about 1? Just missing some.
No, I'll give you the +2 because it's using what you've been told, and you're specifically focusing on the not
So 13.
hearing.
It's always scary to see that. 7.
Okay. You see up ahead. So all these trees are leafless at the moment. Just sticks branching up. The mist is sticking in. It's not even at ground level. It's up and down, almost like a fog sometimes here and there. But the path you're going on, there are about 3 or 4 trees that, from your sensors, it's all green, it's all night vision, look like they have leaves still. So to you, it's like, white trees, black leaves. So there's these big clumps of black leaves up in the trees. up ahead, but it's only for a group of like 4 trees.
Can I tell what they taste like? I would definitely skinny that, but like I catch something over here that looks different from the rest of the forest.
And it's on the path. Like, it's on the path of where the
right
trees have been knocked down, like, that you're following, that this vehicle must have taken.
So if somebody wanted to watch this right now, is it just twitch.com/Wileyverse?
It's, yes, twitch.com/Wileyverse. Did you message GT?
No, actually somebody else was like asking about it.
It's twitch.tv.
Oh, sorry, twitch.tv.
/Wileyverse.
It's a / right?
Yes.
One that leans to the right.
The backslash.
One that leans to the right.
Right. I never get those right. To me, the internet one is...
No .coms or anything like that, yeah.
Just the .tv after. Twitch.tv/Wileyverse.
That's it.
Alright. So there's a blackness cloying to the trees that look like leaves up ahead where the vehicle had gone.
I don't know a whole lot about a whole lot of things, but I know even less about magic stuff. Shawnee, does this look familiar to you at all? She's not seeing what we're seeing.
She's not seeing what you're seeing. She does have a tattoo that gives her night vision.
But
and
she just sees night vision. So
but like, to her, it's...
I guess what I'd ask her then, do you see leaves in these 4 trees?
I do. I see something up there. They look black.
Does it look like leaves or does it look like something else?
It looks too dark to me.
I'm going to throw something at it. I think it's a rock or something.
What are you going to do? As you also have seen this. You saw the patches. He's pointed out even more so.
I'm kind of okay with this rock throwing idea.
Yes? All right.
I've done it before.
So you find a rock and you're going to throw at it.
You have throwing?
I do have throwing.
Yeah, you do it then. I don't have any throwing.
Remember when Iggy and...
You going to contact GT?
We did.
I was like...
I don't know how to get a hold of him.
Oh, on Twitch. Oh, you don't have Twitch account?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't have that. No.
Okay.
Just throwing at the camera or whatever we were like. That's some
Just
kind
try
of
to hit it
sensor.
into the leaves. Yeah, try to hit the leaves with the rock.
All right, what the hell is my throwing?
Get a medium-sized rock. We don't want to hurt these leaves. Hey.
Well, that good old 7.
The 6-7. All right, so you pick up a rock. You're in power armor. You just huck that through the trees. You hear it knock off a tree. Then you hear, and then there's a flutter through all of them, and kind of like a wind picks up, and the mist starts moving, and then hundreds of red eyes open and turn and look at you from all these clusters of black, just pairs. Just.
Luckily, that means there's only 50s of birds since there's hundreds of eyes.
Then they just explode out like a huge cloud, and you hear this cacophony of caws as they start circling through the trees, coming down at you. You're not sure what these things are capable of, but you're damn sure that they're not natural.
There's too many for what I've got. I know what I'm going to do. It's not my turn. Now that you're shuffling the cards. I was about to be like, this is what I do, but it's not my turn.
Well, you wanted to see what happens when you hit it with a rock, so...
I mean, it could have been better. Couldn't have been any better. I mean, we're going to shoot the random... I attack the darkness.
I attack the darkness.
Is that your
or
turn?
I avoid the darkness. Yeah. 7 and a 3.
We already avoided the standing stones.
We
couldn't avoid everything.
My other thought was to let's just knock down some trees and go a different way, but I was also kind of curious.
210 Queen.
I like how you were 100% on board. You're like, I'm with the rock idea.
I'm with the rock idea. 210 Queen. Shawnee gets a 4 and a 5. The birds get 4-6 ace.
Why did they get 3? Because they're a swarm?
They're a swarm, and they're also quick.
Oh, okay.
So
who's for? Are you queen as the top one, or the
ace?
bird? So the birds go first?
Yeah, like, there's so much going on, like, you're just caught kind of unaware. You're not even planted or anything like that. Like, all right, well, here we go.
This group hasn't been tested against the swarm yet. Our D&D group decidedly did poorly with the swarm.
Right. So, just a whole mess of these birds kind of tendril off, and then almost like a scythe-like pattern come down and cut across, or maybe through you. You're not really sure what's happening. So it's 3 hits on you.
3 bird hits.
3 bird hits.
Oh, I threw the rock. I was like, why are they coming after me?
Oh,
Those birds just hit all over your armor.
Like,
You got bird hit all over your armor now.
Okay. So, what is your toughness with no armor?
with no armor?
Yeah, so your toughness is bolstered because you're in armor, but take off all the armor part of it.
Got it. 8.
8.
With armor, it's 18.
It's so there's 18, 8, and then if you were out of armor, what would it be?
6.
6. Yeah, so 8. Okay. 8. Hit. Sorry, it's a hit with a wound. So hit with a ray or damage with a ray. So you're shaken and wounded at the moment, unless you Vinny and soak.
Let's do some soaky soak.
Leave it to Deaver.
It's my buddy Bryce.
Better than bird shit on his armor.
Yeah.
Because they're bird shitting right through your armor. Alright, so make a vigor check. Vega! Welcome to the stream, by the way. Leave it to Deaver.
With the wild.
Brian, what did you say his name was?
Bryce.
Bryce. Bryce?
With the wild?
Yes, with the wild.
Ooh, lucky, lucky. Hey, there we go.
Right.
15?
15. You soak everything and are not shaken.
It was just scary for me.
Right. Another tendril comes off and goes through you.
It's not even my turn.
It's not your turn yet.
I know.
It's their turn. Windlord, when's going to be my time? 2 hits for you. What is your toughness with no armor?
5.
What's the bonus?
11. So it's 5, 11, and then 29.
It's a +6. Right. So 11. That's what I'm trying to be.
So I'm looking for 11. Okay.
Yeah, so it's your... So, like, you're more secure and tough because you're encased in armor.
So it's not attacking the armor on the exterior, but it's going through.
But it's going through in layers. Yeah. But you're still, you still got that. Oh, if I wrap myself in a blanket, I can take on the burglar.
Gotcha.
Type feel. You're still encased in armor, and it's still bolstering your sturdiness essentially. But that shiny coat of paint on the outside doing nothing against these things.
Gotcha.
9, 10, 11, 12. So that is a shaken, unless you want to soak. So
We're just getting started. I better.
That's automatic.
Yeah.
So automatic spin ability, get rid of shaken. So that's all. You don't need to roll for that. And then they're going after Shiny. All right, 2 hits on her. She has not armored up yet. She was not anticipating this.
We should have told her. Shani, I'm going to
Hey,
throw a rock at this. Be prepared.
I'm just like on constant. Yeah. Like playing Alpha Gata. You're like.
She's spinning a minute to get that. Okay, so these things, as they come up close, They look like ravens or crows.
What happened to her real quick?
She had to spend a biddy to not be
Okay,
shaken.
cool. Sorry, I missed that part.
So you all ducked down, did your thing, you bolstered through it. But when these things got close to you, so they look like crows or ravens. They've got 4 wings, which are doing this weird off-time beat flying, which is really messing. Like the sound is already dampening, but that thunk, 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 thunk off flutter is disorienting almost. They have 6 eyes each, which are all red. So just, and their beaks are like razors. But that doesn't matter because they almost like, when they get together, they form together. They mix. Like their wings don't knock each other or anything like that. It almost like they pass through each other or meld into each other into one cohesive band. They go right through your armor, and only when they hit flesh do they like peel off and leave scratches from their talons and cuts from their beaks as they like hit you in part, like water hitting you, to coalesce back behind you and keep flying in these big swaths of blackness and red eyes. Now there's probably there's at least 3, I'll call them scythes. There's at least 3 scythes that have come out, and at least 2 more masses that are generating these scythes.
By scythe, you mean a group of birds?
Like a group of birds that has come down to attack.
Gotcha.
So like a blade that has come down and hit you of these birds.
I was like, is a group of crows called a scythe?
No, a group of crows is called a...
Cackle?
No. A group of ravens is called a...
Oh, it's a murder of crows.
So a murder of crows and a conspiracy of ravens.
That's right.
So, but these things in particular are called scythes. Because they are not either of those things.
Gotcha.
King?
Should throw another rock at the other group.
So my throw it is. So one's went through all of us.
Uh-huh. So there's 3 scythes and 2 clusters.
I'm going to take a shot at one of the scythes with my railgun.
All right.
Have to see if we can hurt them.
Let's do it. So, there's a bunch of stuff working against you on this. You have no multi-fire penalty, nothing from that, no dark penalty because of that. There's cover, there's mist, and there is that weird reverberation that they're making, which disorients you. Like, it's hard to catch. Like, besides the flapping, the ears becoming disoriented, it's also hard to target them because of the way they move in and out of each other. So, all told, it's -4, but your power armor compensates for 2 points of any penalties. So, -2 total to your dice roll.
Yep.
I mean, you've rolled worse.
Yeah, kinda.
It's a 0, a 4, 1, a 2, and a 0.
Yeah, we're just re-rolling that whole thing. It's god awful.
There you go. So, 5, 5, 2, 4, 0.
5, 5, 2, 4, 0, huh?
Well, 5, 5, 4, 2.
Yeah.
Is that with the -2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 5, 5, 4. 3 hits.
Okay. I hit something. Alright.
What, 48 or something?
2d8 plus 4.
2d8 plus 4.
Per shot, right?
Per shot.
So there's 8 on that hit.
Wow. Total? 2d8 plus 4.
Oh,
you
sorry,
got 8.
12.
Okay, like 12. I'm like,
Sorry.
how?
I thought they were both ones. I was
forgot.
stepping away like, come on.
I forgot the plus 4. So 12.
You guys have to remember, if you roll 1 on your wild and 1 on any other die, it's a critical failure. So, like if you're shooting.
Yeah,
1.
I did not do that. 18.
All right, 18.
You get 3 hits.
Mm-hmm. The 12 clearly didn't do anything. The 18 might have done something.
Oh, I see.
Okay, keep going.
And then that's already 14.
It's 32.
14 at least 22.
Yeah, that's what I said. 27 plus 4 is 31.
31. That last.
31 on the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 bullets that glanced and 1 bullet that just like had hellfire attached to it for some reason.
It's a bit sign that he's rolling die, right? It could be worse. He'd be like, the railgun is ineffective. Thanks for making me go through the fucking motions.
Right.
So you spray.
This isn't one of my games.
You spray, a hail of fire, and like each burst of a railgun, each shot of a railgun is more like 10 shots. So your fires 4 times, so it's 40 pieces of metal that are flying out of this thing at ultrasonic speeds. The tops of trees are coming down. The mist is swirling around it. You glance through and cut. It seems like you glance through, and then one shot, as the scythe is coming up, comes through behind it and seems to like cut this tendril off. You see a couple crows spinning over, flopping or doing something on their own, and this thing is like has just been cut in half. So you've reduced one of the scythes to half, and it's flying. And there's still a little group out there now, so a fragment.
Your turn,
Yeah,
I think.
my turn's
Yeah.
useless.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm locking in. Yeah.
Are you going to point in any specific direction?
Well, you said there was like 3 more masses.
So there's 2 more masses ahead of you from like where they came off the trees. They separated, so they're on the extents of your angles.
So I'd like to slightly angle myself towards the left one. Yeah.
Okay, so
you could have tended off the right side originally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll aim at the other side.
Off the right, yes. So if he was on this side, a scythe went that way, a scythe went to you, because you're in the center, and another scythe went this way. So there's 2 scythes coming around this way, plus the group up there. So you're going to angle yourself that way?
I want to get at the group and the other side, so kind of thing. So that because if he did that much damage with his railgun, if I can hit that clump, I might do some serious know-how.
All right. You set yourself in.
Does Sugar get a turn? Sugar fire the gun.
Sugar, fire! She's analyzing flight patterns. All right, so Shawnee armors up. Spinning the extra to get the super armor.
Come on, initiative.
All right, next round. I do love the card mechanic.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan
I like
of
that
it.
they're Rifts cards too. It's kind of neat. When you got those, I was like, cool.
I
Now we've had them for a while. I'm like, these are pretty fucking cool, man.
If at any time you guys want to switch to the red deck, there is a second deck. It's all black and white art, though. I think it's all black and white art. All right.
No, it's got colors in it.
Colors.
Oh, it's the back of the cards.
I think there's some. It might be like the same.
Yeah, the Jokers are just colors. No, the artwork is different though. This looks like it's original book artwork.
So 10 and a 7 for you.
Great.
Yeah, but if any time you guys can call, you guys are the players, just like in poker, you can ask for a new deck.
That seems too easy.
I'll do it for.
I mean, you can't do it in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
It has to be during a reshuffle.
I want to do it for like reason. I don't know. I would just do it to change it up.
Yeah, we can do that.
You want to do it
We'll do
next
round,
next Joker? We'll switch out.
Sure.
Uh,
I just kind of want to see the different artwork.
Yeah.
King 10 8.
I've seen them all.
And like, I really like and appreciate that you guys like remember the numbers. Like, oh, I got me, or I got this, or you got the Glitter Boy Killer. Like, that's kind of cool. So, King 10 8. The Joker for Shawnee.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Joker, 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 Joker and Queen. All right. King 10 5. She doesn't want to just fight these things with swords.
Does she have a ranged weapon at all?
Let me think. She's got something, right?
There was a half second where I got him.
She does have her new control weather tattoo. So she can try to, like, pick up the wind speeds and see if it affects them. She can try to call lightning down on them.
Can she clear the mist out?
She doesn't, like, and, since this is kind of magical here, she doesn't know how her magic will interact with the forests. So she can try to do all of that. So she's like, hey guys, should I try to control the weather in this weird place, or do you want me to just start blazing at them?
I say do your weather.
Okay.
Why not?
Because we've had some bad choices this game so far.
She controls weather with authority. So the first thing you say, try to clear the mist? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I say, because then he loses his negatives or whatever.
There's still cover negatives, but it will clear the mist negative. So she calls, like, the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes, but she calls through a burst of wind, and the mist and everything just, like, funnels down and clears out. So now you're just in eerie, quiet, no mist woods. But yeah, you have much clearer line of sight, except for, I mean, you guys have thermal and all that, so it is a stark contrast between the black of the birds and the greens and grays of the other stuff. So all of that static and everything that's in between you and them clears out. Much clearer view.
When did the birds get a 10 and a 3?
They got a king.
They got a king 10-5.
And a king of spades.
Yeah, king of spades goes
Gotcha.
first. No one has ace.
No.
Okay, so birds are next. The moment she does that, so the one site that you hit goes goes back up. The small detachment, like the thing you've torn off, it goes back up and into the group, the big cluster, and then comes back out, and it's full. But the cluster has shrunk a little bit, and it's kind of moving. It moves lower now that there's no mist and all that kind of stuff up there. The two tendrils that hit you and Shawnee both go after Shawnee. So they go basically, like, Shawnee was like right next to you, so they kick right back around and come in, and when do you go? 10?
Yeah, I'm last.
You might be able to get them on their way out of your arc
Alright.
after they attack her. But, as you notice, when they can swoop down and hit her, her armor seems to be completely effective against them because it's completely magical. They hit her armor and bounce right off. And they really do. This is a piss poor 4-die roll.
4, 4, 2, 2.
Yeah, 2 4s, 2 2s. So, that was the first attack on her. And the second attack is even worse.
What happens when an NPC critical fails?
I do a
You have
normal
to do
thing.
something, yeah, you do a critical fail.
I treat them just the same as you. So, yeah. Ooh, they shouldn't even have that. 1, 2, 3.
They've had heroic die the whole time.
Right. I don't think I was rolling that last time, but I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3 does not do anything. So they both try to attack her, and she just definitely dodges, and the magical armor keeps her protected, and everything bounces off. So they're definitely still in your angle because they got slowed when they, basically dragged themselves across her magical armor. Go.
Not done?
Your turn.
You aim right in between me and Shawnee's head, says one of the sickos.
I start launching grenades. Everywhere. Just up in the air, straight up. Dunk, 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 dunk.
You have an automatic grenade launcher?
He does.
Yeah, technically.
Just like the crazy in the very
Yeah.
first episode.
Also, I saw that whatever rebuild their scythe out of that cluster. I guess I'll shoot at that scythe again.
Okay. As it's coming back out and around. Looks like it's aiming for you.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, 10.
That's only a 1. There's only one on the pages. What are my negatives this time?
Only you have a -2 and a positive and a cancel of 2, so straight roll.
Straight. Cool. So 8, 5, 5, 4.
8, 5, 5, 4. That's all hits, so 4 hits.
Dang.
No raises.
8.
No, 9.
Yeah, no, the 8 is a.
Wait, is
What you guys do?
I didn't do anything. I might have done it. It's only like 1 or 2 cards.
Yeah.
Like 2 cards were left in the deck when I pulled it out, so my bad.
What did you do? You broke playing cards.
Every other one is one way, the other way. I don't want to play anymore. First hit.
Is this the wall with the raise?
I'm doing that one last time.
Okay.
So
Are you still rolling the first hit? Okay.
No, he's just,
No,
while you're shuffling, he's rolling.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I'm like, I was so excited for you.
this is the one.
He's like having to add because it's like 7 straight rates.
Well, okay.
Plus, just 15 straight rate.
No, that still has the +4. Dear God, though. That was a rough way to get to that number. So 14, 12, 8, 19. 19 was the one that had the raise.
14,
12,
12,
8,
8,
19.
19. All right. So you blast into that as it's like reformed and coming back around almost right at you. You get a bead on it through the trees. No more mist in the way. No more nothing. And just like almost one of those cartoons with the horde of whatever's coming at you and the thing's shooting straight at it. It's like perfectly dead on, or it's like everything's just being shredded as it's coming at you and can't get any closer. Just you stop it kind of dead in its tracks, and the last bit of it is little fragments busting off and trying to flutter back to the big cluster. So that scythe is pretty much dissipated, except for little remnants.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, do I still play? It's my turn.
Yeah. Oh, it's your turn now.
Is there a clump, or is it only a double
You have
like scythe going
two
through?
scythes that just went through
Shawnee?
Shawnee, and you could hit both of them, and there's still the cluster in your line of fire.
I guess I would do a quick. What do you guys want me to do? the attacking portion or get a fresh one?
I would almost say your job is probably to take care of that cluster.
All right, let's do that.
Because if you take care of that, it's all that's left is 2 sides. We don't know that they can replenish after that.
Oh. The weird thing about the clusters is they position themselves in such a way that it almost looks like they have, like the cluster itself has 6 red eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Because they're like all clustered together with their little, like with their eyes looking out in those certain positions.
6 is what I score for. With my Benny.
A 6.
Yeah.
That is enough to hit, but no raise.
That's fine. $29.35 for the damage. AP 25.
AP don't matter.
I was like, yeah, I don't think these birds are wearing armor.
What?
I'm just waiting for it. It's 35, you hit the cluster, you kill 2 birds.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is that it's flechette. It's sitting in a bunch of little rounds, like hundreds of little rounds, and just poof. And you see like the problems looking at blackness and seeing trying to like dark areas that you're just trying to deal with, and you hit through fireworks.
Maybe.
Is to see like it's negative space, and you're trying to see how much damage you did to negative space. So you went, and you see like the red eyes get disrupted, and they're not like 6 of them perfectly anymore. It's kind of a chunk where you can kind of see the forest beyond it, and then they kind of close in. And as it reforms and the 6 eyes come back, it is significantly smaller, probably about half the size of it was before. So
it'll only take 1 more shot.
if you get that lucky. All right.
New deck time.
New deck. New fun deck. I don't know if that's going to come through at all. It's very light. Nope. All right. This is the Skyscape cover, by the way.
Which is funny because when I was digging through the cards, a lot of them look like original sourcebook artwork.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, not original source book, but this is in the world books.
Yeah.
Which
Cards came out 2 years ago, so they're fairly new.
All right. 4-5.
All right.
You guys are coming out strong. Coming out
This
strong.
is just Mitch. It's just what he does.
Ace, Queen, 8. Oh, here's Honeycomb.
Yep. It's a general full conversion bird from the Berg's board. From
Berg.
full conversion board.
This is from Japan, I think. It's one of their cool bird avian power armors. So Ace, Queen, 8 for Dayton.
Oh, damn, that ace is like the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other aces are the only colored cards too, besides the Joker has a red border.
Jack, 6. 6 is the Cyber Samurai. Jack is from something. I don't know. Do you remember the Witchling you guys fought? Like the Shifter's little ally? This is what it looked like. Yeah. Floating around, laughing at you.
It's not how I pictured it.
Yep. This little no leg witch, 4 feet tall, floating around.
And more of an Orko look. I was thinking like robes and like a funny hat.
I also pictured like a little bit of Orko-ish, like in its activities, but this is more like hag.
Or like,
3, 8, 9 for
the sorcerers from Final Fantasy.
Oh,
they all have like a big, everyone always has a big
yeah, and this is Broadkill.
scarf on.
So
Didn't know they had those kind of smiles. Now I feel bad.
like, oh,
I shot a lot of smiley demons.
Reminiscing. All right, so ace.
That's
goes
why
first.
I put it down like that.
That's I meant to do that. So you dissipated your thing. There's 2 scythes still on them. There's still 2 clusters. One's half the size of the other.
Still 2 clusters?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. One has the 2 tendrils, the 2 sides that have come off, and the other one is...
Balls, there's 2 clusters still.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck.
You have dissipated one a little bit because you killed one scythe, and it replenished it, and then the other one got taken in half.
Alright, well that's let's plasma up that remaining or that other cluster.
So the half one or the fuller one? The one that's on you? Or your side?
Yeah.
Because he is not pointed at that one. He cannot hit it, it's behind him.
So it's up to me to
Okay.
take.
So how many plasmas are you shooting into this thing? Your rate of fire is what, 3 on that?
I was like, yeah, what
Dun,
is my
dun,
rate
dun.
of fire?
What did it take to take
Yeah,
that
it's
centaur
3.
down? Was that 2? Or did you do full 3 for that?
He did a full 3, but he did fusion.
Oh, okay, that's what
That
was.
was
I
an
like, whatever
arc.
that was.
That's AP. That's,
Okay.
And it like stacks.
That
AP,
it stacks
yeah.
AP, so
Gotcha.
it's just like melts armor.
I was gonna say because whatever that was a little overkill for crows. I
It's
think.
as close as he can get to rivaling your gun.
Yeah, I got pretty close.
So we'll do all 3
Plasma.
plasma.
Blunk, blunk, blunk. Alright. Roll to hit.
Shooting, right?
Yes.
Still.
Still shooting.
Just 3 instead of 4.
You have no wound penalties. There's no... Everything cancels out for your pluses, minuses, so just straight shots.
That's fine.
That's okay.
So
Still 3 hits.
2 9s and a 7.
2 9s and a 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hit with a raise and 2 hits, but don't bother rolling damage. How about some fire? Scarecrow works like a charm. You hit these things, and as the fire just expands and passes from one crow to another, you just see them like snuff out like little flame, like they just almost char up into nothing. Little black, and just like it's almost like lighting up carbon paper individually, but you hit 3 things into this. Everywhere it hits, each one that hits passes between crow to crow to crow to crow as they're melded together. And so it's just, again, like fireworks. Yay! Just coming down like little tendrils of carbon paper that just never even hit the ground. All purple fire rages through it, the entire thing, and consumes that entire cluster.
So for the record, I killed 1 cluster and 1 shot. Get to
3 shots.
3 shots, yeah. Nice try.
Just put that anywhere.
Take a quick break.
Nice try.
Yes, fire works
That's
very effectively against these specific enemies, including plasma. So, there you go. You're 4-5.
Yeah, I definitely.
She's
left.
Jack, so Shawnee goes next. She is going to try to buffet these 2 scythes that are attacking her with wind to keep them off guard, try to stop their attack runs. And she does so quite well. So you see, like, swirling winds coming down, and they are like having trouble keeping together or moving in any cohesive pattern. So they're going to have huge penalties to attack on their turn,
Sweet.
which is now.
I say it's their turn now. So.
They are both attacking Dayton. What? So they fly like they're just curving around. They're out of your arc now because they're going right for him, who's behind you.
Gotcha.
But luckily, they have very, very shitty chances to hit right now. That's good. It's 6 dice. Woo! Alright. 2 hits. Oh.
Oh.
Alright, well, wait till you get back to give them the bad news.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Are you back, sunshine? Alright, so after you did what you did,
They're not mad at Shawnee anymore.
they're not mad at Shawnee anymore. They are weirdly mad at you. They all went at, both of them went at you, but Shawnee started hitting them with wind to try to disrupt them and make it harder for them to move. And it worked. So they rolled 6 dice to hit you with and only hit you twice.
Okay.
But in those 2 hits, they got a 16. What is your toughness without armor?
8.
8. So 8 is shaken, 12 is 1 wound, 14 is 2 wounds, and it doesn't get a... So shaken and 2 wounds right now.
Soaky soak.
Soaky soak.
Bigger time.
Ferda. Vigor Ferda.
Oh, I was hoping that was an 8.
Was that not an 8?
No, that was a 3.
Oh. So you failed to soak.
Oh.
Alright, so 2 wounds and shaken. Yeah, they come right through you. It hurts a lot.
It's like,
Tearing your flesh.
this is like the first time, pretty much in this whole campaign, that I've actually been like wounded.
I'm just glad that it's not damaging my armor.
I've been fatigued.
Right now, no, it's not scratching my
I'm like,
armor.
ow! But the armor looks great.
I've been fatigued before. I've been shaken, but I've never been like.
You've never had any wounds?
I might have had like a wound.
I
Before,
think-
but
I think you had a wound at some
So
point.
you've been wounded.
Oh no, the neuron beast messed your shit up.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
Also, I want to say you were wounded at the ranch with the Psystalker and the dogs, just because there were you fought like 6 or 7 dogs. I think you got hurt at least once in that, maybe.
maybe. And Shawnee got hurt, and you
That-
got hurt. He
that
just
one-
kept going through and cleaning up everyone else's
That one
messes.
was I was
Maybe
pretty
that's what it
good
was,
at.
yeah.
I think it's just been lately. I haven't like even had anything touch me because either armor saved me or you guys have been the more attractive.
Targets.
I've just been like, cool. I just sit back here and shoot.
All right, so you're up.
Oh shit, it's my turn again.
Yep.
Alright, I gotta pull up stakes and turn around and look at what's
No, there's
happening.
still a half one in front of
Remember,
you.
you didn't kill that one cluster.
Oh, that's right. Well then, yeah, that one then.
Okay.
Sorry.
There's a whole bunch of screaming and yelping behind you, but you got to finish the job.
You told me it was kind of my job. 5.
5 is enough for a hit.
Jesus. Yeah, that's not enough.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're re-rolling that. Man. I rolled an 11 with 4d12 right
What?
Yeah.
40, 12, you got 11? I wish you would have kept
I think there was
that.
a 12 total.
There you go, 27. Well, yeah, I would have plus 6, so this is 33.
33?
So it would have been like
Okay.
18 last time.
That one is gone. So you blast that, it just disperses. There's a little bit of remnants, but they kind of just scatter. So there's just the tooth scythes left, and they both just went through you. So
Let's hope they don't go first.
wow. So now we go to initiative. There was no Joker yet, right? All right. Wow. Wow. 4-5.
New deck.
4-5, man. Like that's
Gotta get that luck out of the new deck for you guys.
hey.
Joker?
No.
Damn.
It's not a great thing as it has a bluegrass flavor. 5, 8, 10. So, not a great deal for you.
This isn't looking good.
Shawnee gets 6, 6.
Wow, come on, this guy's like a king on the other deck.
Ace 7 for them. All right, so they're coming back around. They are free from the wind because the wind had to stop when they hit you.
Oh my goodness!
So, yep, they're coming at you. Both scythes. Because they went out of you, back through you. Ooh, yeah.
They swing and miss? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's not a swing and miss.
That's alright, you'll roll better on your soak this time. That's what happened last time. You rolled a 3 to soak.
So that's 4 hits, but 2 individual raises. So you... This is bad. This is real bad. Because they stack. Yeah. They, like, since they're just kind of energy and attacking your soul type thing, they stack. It's bad. It's bad. It could be bad. Let's see.
It's water.
So, 14, 22,
Yeah.
28,
So dead.
You just got shot with a boom gun.
31. So, 31. I think you at least have to try to soak. I mean, technically, I don't want to look up the rules right now, but apparently they can only do 3 wounds. Well, 4 to kill you, but let's see. 31 is your toughness of 8. So 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24, 24 to 28.
Then 32 is after that.
So that's it. So
The dreaded 7.
all right, so 7, 7, like that's it. 7. You don't have grit or anything like that. It's combat, not combat reflexes. Something like true grit, nothing like that. All right, well you took 4 wounds, so that's
You're incapacitated.
That's incapacitated with extra, so you are rolling on the table, unless you want a Blaze of Glory, which this really isn't a Blaze of Glory time.
Right.
Like, there's nothing exciting to Blaze of Glory against in this situation. So,
It's a hell of a first damage roll, huh? Etheric crows.
that's what happens when you're the most threatening thing on the board. Now you know what the Glitter Boy feels like every time.
Sort of.
Sort of. I've been. My entire armor has been decimated like 3 times, and I've been
Right.
playing this character for like 5 weeks.
Everything goes after that thing.
Yeah.
All right. Woo-wee.
So rolling on this means he's out of the battle for now, but when he comes to, one of these things will occur.
That's one of the things I'm looking up. Is specifically when we make this roll. Is he out and then we roll after the battle, or do we roll right now to see if he's still in the fight or not?
Because I want to say with the Blaze of Glory, we continued.
Right.
in the
If
next
you
round.
declare Blaze of Glory, you're still in the game. You just have to die sometime this or next session on your call. There's just like you're just tracking down the Vernons. I mean, I can make an epic thing happen, but
I mean, do you want to lose this hero character, legendary character?
I'm not choosing Blaze of Glory, by
so
the way.
he's gonna roll. So.
It's like, I mean,
Do you want a handful of extra dice to make a little stand for yourself?
All right.
why won't this work?
Woo-wee. Death and defeat.
Death and defeat. I would tease you about it, but I already did it once.
Yeah, that's right after I was getting cocky about having destroyed that one cluster.
All right. Death and defeat.
I got killed.
Roll it. D20. You want the special? You don't want the big one, or you don't want the gold one? Or do you want just yours? Go by your luck.
That doesn't sound great.
I will do one. It's special.
Let's whip it out. We don't. There's not too many D20 rolls in Savage World, so let's pull it out. Here is the gold die. It's really hard to read. Good luck.
Is that a 4?
It's a 17.
Yeah.
17?
Well, it's none of them are good. You're like, yay, it's high roll.
Yep, that's a 17. Like that. 17. Fatigued. Roll for an injury, which is healed once all wounds are gone. The hero has 1 level of fatigue, and it takes 1d4 days of rest and medical care to get rid of it. Alright.
Does he come back from incapacitated, or is he still incapacitated?
He is still incapacitated for the rest of this fight.
But he's going to be just fatigued.
He's going to be wounded and fatigued until he can get rid of all of his wounds.
Gotcha.
So, alrighty then. That was them. You're out, so taking all that time standing up those cards.
Well, that was probably the best injury you could have possibly gotten.
There's,
You're just
the only
tired,
two,
yeah.
like 17, then there's 18, 19, and then there's 20. So there's only 2 better results than what you got.
So what? Explain to me what's happening.
You're gonna have a wound, like something's like broken arm or broken
Permanent
leg.
injury.
It's not permanent.
Oh,
It
okay.
will go away once you are fully healed.
It's just...
And you're also fatigued, so you got this, and you're going to be fatigued until your wounds heal as well. So you're going to be -2 to everything, and you can only like kind of limp along.
So am I like fatigued?
Mhm.
Like,
Fatigue,
so-
fatigue.
one
Yeah,
fatigue. I thought
because
it was
like
one-
you could just like circle that.
I thought it said 1 bar of fatigue. Did it
No,
say-
fatigued, like the actual end result, which means he's essentially only able to take half actions until he's fully healed.
Gotcha.
Plus, he has that injury, so he's really hurt until he's fully healed. So,
Could be worse.
6s. What do you got? Oh, 4, 5. Right. So,
Oh, what do you got?
all right.
Last.
So
version.
she is calling down lightning on one of these sides. She's done playing the support role. Gotta pull all these dice that I rolled to kill you out of here. Ugh. Awkward. Oop, missed one. She hits one with lightning. So, again, just like the fire, the lightning comes down, smashes to, and just goes through an entire scythe and burns them up. There's only one scythe left, and it is behind you.
Yep.
So, pulling up stakes.
Yep.
Um,
Can I
so-
spin and shoot without support?
next round.
Oh, yeah.
Though Sugar says, since you have 360-degree sonar and all that, you can try to take a shot with your laser rifle, like over the back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking next was that I saw the laser rifle.
So, do you want to try to, like, as you're pulling up, shoot behind your back, just using targeting
I'm sure there's
information?
negatives to that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
it couldn't hurt to try.
Couldn't have to try. So -4.
D10.
Is it got a rate of fire? ROF?
1.
Okay, so yep, just 1d10 plus your wild die.
It says 2d10 for... Oh, it's damage.
That's damage. Your shooting die, whatever your shooting die
I'm
is.
sorry. I've only been playing this for 2 years.
1 year almost.
6.
Well, 2 years, I guess, if you.
Yeah,
count
like
that.
everything we've played so far.
Yeah,
Right,
6 will miss.
Yeah,
So.
I don't have anything else.
All right. Final round. Fight. I mean, you can still die if everyone else goes down. I mean, like you all die.
What a horrible place to die! Like on the road to Kansas, we ran into some crows we threw a rock at.
But it is your first, like the witch touched livestock. Yeah. This is your first witch touched encounter. So.
And it's a swarm.
2-7. Swarm of crows. Damn it, man.
I'm assuming Shawnee will get some good cards that you would have gotten.
9-3.
No. Here comes the Joker.
4.
Oh, so that was shitty.
Like I know that the bottom is a king.
I was like, I go first. Oh wait, no, I go second.
Second.
But it's only because there's only 3 of us.
She's going to try to call lightning down on that.
Thank God.
She hits. It hits it just barely clips it and doesn't spread enough. So there's still half a scythe left.
I see that one on that D4. Like,
yep.
Damn it.
Right, so now I can be facing it now, right?
So now you can turn around. You can shoot unanchored with your boom gun, or you can shoot with the laser.
I'm going to shoot the laser just because we're...
Do you want to shoot with the laser and set in, or just shoot with the laser?
Just shoot with the laser.
Okay.
Well, there's only half a scythe left. Famous last words, right?
It's one of the types of mutants, and it's in the Lone Star. It's either in the Lone Star or the new Pecos Empire. But I think it's either a cat or a porcupine.
It was like a porcupine.
Mutant.
Yeah. Let's say they gave her a belly button ring so she was a little bit cuter.
Hey, mutants are cute.
5.
And she's got a happy, like, smiley face underwear, too.
Yeah, she's like, it's like tank girl mutant. 5?
Yeah.
Will miss. Did you plant in? Did you say yes?
Because I thought I could at least hit it.
It is going after you.
I say it's not going after me, right?
It's going to try. And it fails. So.
It what?
Fails.
Oh, now it fucking fails.
Yeah, right? Next round. Hey. Ooh, Mountaineer. 10 and an 8. And a Glitter Boy Killer. 8-10. 8-10. The Glitter Boy Killer.
I love how every time a Glitter Boy Killer shows up, we announce it.
Yeah.
It's a Glitter Boy Killer. That's a Glitter Boy Killer.
Ooh, there we go.
I'm just kidding.
Ace Jack
Hey.
for Shawnee.
Double Joker.
And 2. Whoa. I kind of remember what this thing is, but I don't. It's one of those weird, like,
Oh, yeah.
I
like
think,
Wilang Hanga, like something like that.
This, I think, is from the Palladium roleplay game, like the actual fantasy game. So it was in the conversion book. It's some corrupted something.
One of my favorite characters from the old Dungeons and Dragons monster manual is that Ha-Shastak. Like Ha-Shastak. It's like H-A'-A-H-A'-ASTHAK. Ha-Shastak. He's an unearthly giant mosquito.
She misses with her lightning this time.
It went through me, so is it behind me again? Do I have to turn around and shoot it?
No, it kind of like went... Since you were just turning around, it came in through the side of you and out that way.
Gotcha.
So, do you set in or not?
No.
Okay.
Which is fine, because I just got a 3 anyway.
Okay. All right. It goes. It's coming back at you.
What's going on?
What?
I don't know, they're just these rolls right now.
Yeah, these rolls suck.
It was like the last couple of ones were just like I'm missing everything.
It hit you this time.
God damn it.
What's your toughness?
11.
It's severely weakened.
11.
Wow. Nothing. Doesn't hurt you.
It tickles this time.
Yep. So that's it. Let's go. Come on. We're getting double jokers coming up eventually. Queen 5.
I saw the jokers in there. They're in there.
Unless you pulled them out somewhere over there. Or hiding them. Ace 3. 7.
What?
All right. So she calls lightning down again. Jesus. She hits. Okay, where's the thing? It's dead.
Thank God.
God damn it. All right. So
Someone
with that, the last,
me up.
like it fizzles through, burns most of that scythe. What's the remnants of it scatter off into the darkness. You still hear, and this is unnerving because the place was so quiet before, you still hear the little caws here and there of these things. So you know what the remnants of what you just fought is still out there, and they seem to be talking to each other. They're probably talking about you.
That's safe to assume. So this little...
She is going to heal you.
Yay.
Let's hope she gets a hell of a roll.
Stage that shit, Shawnee. Or not.
Reroll or... So she got an 8. So reroll or add a d6?
Add a d6. If you reroll and make it lower, it'll be waste of a penny. You've already got some heal in. Well, that's 2 wounds right there, right?
So 4, so that's 12, so that's 3 wounds. So you go...
To 1 wound and fatigued.
Yep. 1 wound, still fatigued, still have injury. But...
You look messed up.
Yeah.
All right there?
Oh, you alright?
Oh yeah, I took a shot too. We tell Sugar we turn off the low ammo counter.
The injury table. Let's see. What do you roll in this
that's
thing?
right. You still got an injury. I was like,
A
man, you got,
d12.
like,
D12, huh?
you want to use a different d12? Use the
Am
big
I
one.
rolling this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you want me to.
I mean, not really.
Yeah. Kinda.
11.
Head. A grievous injury to the head. Roll a d6. Holy shit.
5.
Brain damage. Massive trauma to the head. Smarts reduced 1 die type. Minimum d4.
That's shitty.
That was like the worst thing you did. You wanted low on this one. Actually, you didn't want low. There's nothing good on this roll. Nothing.
Just because it lowers that die type, it doesn't...
Hold on. Don't lower the die type now because this is not permanent as what it said in here. So you're... Just remember that it's 1 lower.
We'll put it right there. Like
Yeah, put it temporary, whatever. Once you're healed, like you have a concussion, you can't think straight, you can't hear, like you're fucked up right now.
We have to talk to you slowly.
Until that last wound is healed. You are just not right in the head, boy.
Now everything's going to be smarts check.
Here we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. Talk amongst yourselves. You wake him up. He is not coherent. Well, you're partially coherent.
Uglier than usual.
There we
We
go.
have to decide if we want to stay in this forest or push on.
Fuck stay.
Fuck staying in the forest.
So we need to get moving, beats. Get up.
So every 5 days, you can make a vigor roll, and on a success, you remove a wound. So it's going to take you 5 days to get rid of that wound. She can't magically heal you anymore because she tried it once. Like that's all her healing can do. So, all right.
You say a vigor?
Vigor. I'm going to take a little break.
Right.
We'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. You guys can talk about yourselves, about the plans for the future.
Talk about ourselves.
Talk about yourselves amongst yourselves.
Oh, get up for a second. That's horrible. It could have been worse.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious what some of the other like outcomes from my rolls could have been.
Have you ever seen the random insanity table?
Don't know that I have.
sure this thing has a... Yeah, there we go. So this is to like color your character. So this is the random insanity table resulting from trauma. So if you receive trauma, you might also receive an insanity if you don't get a thing against it. So if you roll a 1, so it's like 1 to 100 or whatever. 1 to 10, you're reborn. Alignment reversal. Good becomes evil. Evil becomes good. Neurosis. The roll on the table that follows. Compulsive liar, even if you're good alignment. Kleptomaniac, a compulsion to steal, even if good alignment. Obsession, phobia, psychosis, fear of animals, recluse, affective disorder, all kinds of stuff. The neuroses are like fear of the dark, cannot tell the truth, fear of success. Affective disorders are you're disgusted by anything sticky. You'll go to any lengths to get away from it. Hates music and musicians. These are all different ones. There's phobias of the undead, reptiles, scientists, mutants, snakes, ghosts, confining enclosures, skeletons, darkness, graveyard, burial mounds, abandoned old houses or buildings. Then there's other ones too that are like, you get a, you are, you have like a Popeye complex. So something
is that
the random insanities and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, especially for the crazies.
Yeah, so Popeye complex is where you feel like you're not at full power unless you've eaten what it is that gives you your power.
Your magic mushrooms, your gummy berry juice, your spinach,
but
whatever
the list is ridiculous. It's stuff like grape yogurt eaten with a stick of celery. It's like weird shit like that. Like you have to eat soggy Brussels sprouts that are not warm anymore. Like they're really specific where you're like, this is a pain in the ass.
All right. So what did you guys decide?
Well, everybody said fuck staying here, so we got to move along, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Are we doing half pace for fatigue?
You're like, yeah, it's very slow pace for him. He can't run.
What is the vehicle that Shawnee has?
It's a small little techno wizard.
Can he ride on that while I carry his armor?
First off, it wouldn't work because it's techno wizard, and it's only one seater, so just for her.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The vehicle.
So
I was like, what? I was like, his armor is techno wizard.
No, her vehicle is techno wizard. So you
just have to inch along.
So with his grapple lines and his hook ends and all that stuff, he can essentially climb on your back. It will your half pace will still be better than him walking along.
All right, let's do that then. Let's attach him to my back.
Yeah.
My shoulder.
Yeah. Well, he's in his power armor. I'm gonna need you to make a vigor check to even be able to do that because it's jarring. Just this movement is jarring on your head.
Does vigor check have my negatives at whatever?
So
what am I at? Negative
you're
4?
negative 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's 4.
So negative 3.
Well, because he gets the third fatigue in one wound.
There's not a third. There's not
okay,
one.
Okay, I got
the
you.
third fatigue is can't move, can't.
So it's just the 2 fatigues and the 1 wound.
Yes.
So I get my wild die for this.
Right.
Okay.
7, wouldn't it? No, he's a 6 as well.
Let's see. So 4 minus 3 would be 1.
Yeah, you start moving and almost immediately throw up in your armor, and to have to tell him to stop. So you guys aren't moving through. That's not going to work.
Gotcha. Let's mosey along then.
So you have to get down, open up your helmet, and put all that drain out, spray it out, and then just walk. Like, you cannot move through this. So you are walking through a dark and dreary, silent forest with just the cause of the murder crows to keep you company, and they seem to be keeping up with you. Like, you can't get a beat on them; they're pretty far back, but every once in a while you see a flutter of blackness as they try to keep an eye on you.
And then you start to describe your loss of your ballooning medal from the 1986 Olympics. We're like, what?
What the Olympics?
That was a story my uncle told me when he was having some surgery done, and he was completely messed up on painkillers, and he was like really mad. And my dad was asking him what's up, and he was like, they took my gold medal from the Olympics away because we had one extra wrench in our box. And I was like, what medal? And he's like, the 86 Olympics of ballooning championship. You know, we had a toolbox and equipment in it. We had too many pieces, and it was a technicality, and someone just came and took my medal. And I was like,
ballooning?
Is ballooning an Olympic sport? My dad was like, there's no 86 Olympics. He was just so far gone on his painkillers.
Nice. So, anything you want to specifically do while this is happening?
I mean, just keep an eye on it. Sugar can't pick these things up either. She's having trouble with that. Yeah, so then...
Yeah, they're not registering naturally. Like, she'll see movement here and there, and she'll ping it for you, but by the time you turn around and look, it's not really there, or you can't see it.
I guess I'll keep my light laser out, even though it's been completely ineffective. Other than that, there's not anything specific that I can think of we need to do other than drag this guy into the next town. Make sure it wasn't a Joker.
2.
Hey, it'll be my turn next. That'll be me.
How are all
I don't know. They're in there. I saw them.
You're not getting out of this forest before daylight.
I don't know.
And you guys are pretty tired, but you can push on if you want. He will have to make a check.
I think we should stop. Shawnee and I can take turns. It'll be a 2-man watch instead of 3, but we can't drag him anymore.
Yeah, it will not count as a day if you keep pushing.
Yeah.
So you had, like, this will be... You stopping now and resting will be the start of the first day of your 5 days.
And then you have to do a vigor check to see if you even heal.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to wait. If he doesn't, it's another 5 days.
Yeah, I get it. And that's to relieve his Dane damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Dane damage. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
It's like, my head hurts. Will you lick my nuts? No.
No.
That's the
No beats.
That's the 5th time you've asked.
They're not going to lick themselves. So, first watch.
I'll take the first watch for the same reasons as last time. I'll just have to be longer.
Alright. Notice. You pass the hell right out. Are you getting out of your armor or staying in your armor? It's not going to help with your rest if you stay in. I mean, it's not... It will give penalties if you keep staying in your armor.
Longer and longer.
Longer and longer. Nothing yet if you wanted to stay in, but...
Stay in for now.
Okay. So you just...
That is
This
because...
is what it adds to your toughness in case those things fight us again.
Right.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't feel safe in this forest.
6.
Alright. So they
Plus 2?
can...
I don't get plus to my notice, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, Sensor Speed.
Sensor
Yeah,
Speed.
so 8 then, sorry.
Alright, so... the crows... Murder crows... do hang out, and they just keep on the periphery. You see them flitting about at the depths of your sensor range, keeping an eye on you, constantly talking, squawking, the muffled squawks from far away. The mist has rolled back in because Shawnee's spell is over, but nothing moves on you, so...
Well, we showed him his boss.
We showed those crows whose boss. That definitely wasn't Beethoven.
I don't know. He killed the most.
Killed one whole cluster. You killed one whole cluster as well.
I also took out
A scythe.
a couple scythes.
No, you cut one in half, then you finished off the other half of it.
Cut one in half, then it replenished. Then
And
I
he
killed
it all. So he killed
So
one
you're
and a
counting
half.
that as
1
3
and a
then,
half.
yeah.
If we're going to be comparing murder crow sizes here, let's
That's
get
17.
it right.
Yeah, right. 17.
Including me?
This is Shawnee's check.
Yep. There's a knock on your armor. Dun, dun, dun.
Away, I'm baiting.
Oh, man.
So are you
You've never
you're
seen
staying?
Idiocracy? Yeah, I'm
I
staying.
have not seen that. I still do. I
It's
want to
not-
see it.
it's so
I've heard it's
bad,
not
yeah.
good, but
It's still worth the watch. Yeah.
you're staying in your armor while you're in the forest, right? So yeah, there's a knock on your armor which wakes you up. She's like, "There's something bigger out there now, and it's watching us."
All right, let's get up and check it out.
We're gonna leave him.
It's like,
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get up
check
and,
it
like,
out.
Can I check it out?
Yeah.
Can we
Make a notice check.
Can I tone some stuff down and turn up the sensor speed a little bit?
She's like, "I saw it over there. Then I didn't see it there. I thought I was seeing things, but then I've seen it again twice."
So 9.
9. All right, so you're scanning through.
Plus 2. So
Oh, 11. Sorry.
So you're scanning through. Sugar's trying to tweak everything to get your best. She's really trying to get you contrast because the black of these things is so black that it should be able to stand out if she can get some really good settings, like fog it everything up and get that contrast. And as you're scanning through and she's messing with settings, like you see like through, a couple trees, and through those trees perfectly, you just see like this half shape of a thing, a person almost, standing there, and you think just for a second that you see 3 red eyes on it. But this thing is at least 5 feet tall, standing behind this tree, looking at you. So definitely bigger than a murder crow. And like as you pass by, you get that contrast comes in and out, and you see it, and then you go back and like zoom in on that area, and it's gone.
All right. Well, we need to.
There's only 2 more hours until my watch was up anyway.
Yeah.
Do we want to hope that these things don't get bold, or do we want to wake him up and get him moving?
I mean, we could stand on either side of him, see if we can defend. I mean, that would be the only way to defend him. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wake him up and get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I'm still fresh. You're better now. She's taking a whole rest, right?
Yeah.
Because her shift was over.
So
We didn't do very well with the last ethereal thing that we fought, so I think we should move on.
I can try to tap into my strength. If I can evoke it strongly enough, I can carry him more smoothly than you.
But what about your vehicle?
You can pick that up and just put it on your shoulder. It's pretty tiny.
Let's try it.
And we can at least walk out of here.
Good job, Pete.
What's that?
I'm sorry. What? So she kind of like wakes you up and tells you what's going to happen because she doesn't want you just and starting to like grenade off or something like that. Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
He's a Benny just to
God,
pick.
this is the Benniest heavy game we've ever played so far.
Like, yeah, we.
All right. So she hits that chain and it snaps and breaks and she bulks up. And she just has you lock in and just shoulders you up to her arm almost, and she's not hitting hard. She's taking nice slow strides, but she's like, this only lasts an hour or two, but it's an hour or two we're moving and he's still resting, and that's at least to the end of my watch.
Well, let's push that hour or whatever. I'll be behind.
All right. She funnels PP into that as much as she can, but she doesn't want to leave herself too vulnerable for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So after about 2 hours, they truly wake you up and have you start walking again. You reach the end of the forest about noon. you had a couple more spottings of whatever that thing was, a couple more partial spottings, but no attacks, no more clusters, nothing else. So something just watching you.
So once we get to the edge of the forest and we move out, you say it's not coming out of the forest.
It does, yeah. So the mist doesn't come out of the forest. You're back on Kansas flatland, and the cawing gets further and further away the further you get from the forest until it's back to normal Kansas noises.
All right. Well, in light of the situation, I think we should take another day to rest. Like sit down, get him out of his armor. Hang out, get everybody healed back up. Or not heal back up, but get your magic back. I can get out of my suit for a little bit.
All right. So
would that be considered a full first day or not quite?
This was the full first day.
Okay.
So if you guys how far away do you walk from the forest? Do you want to walk far enough that you can't see it anymore?
No, we can see it. It's nerve-wracking, but if nothing's following us out of it, I don't want to push everybody too hard. We could really get some time in right now if we just stop.
So stopping on the road, just
however far, a mile or two from the tree line, not quite on the road, off to the side a little bit, just a regular old camp.
Get out,
bent over, armors. Get out, we'll fire camp.
Get out the armors, pull up. You all have survival packs and all that stuff. So in your grapple lines, you can put up tarps. You can put down your bedroll, your backpack, or
so like a real camp for once.
I keep calling them bedrolls, sleeping bags in the modern tongue. Sleeping bags, and cook some food, cook some rations, have some real stuff going on. So it's a little bit early, but there's not.
Yeah, we're kind of
you're at a weird pacing, so we're gonna cut it there for tonight. With
So we'll count that as
that was day one.
And we'll give you a full day at the beginning of next one.
Brain damage beats. Tongue lolling out the side.
Yeah.
Derp.
He's like, I'm brain damaged eats.
I know that it's 4th of July tomorrow and everyone's going to be out drinking and barbecuing and all that stuff, but we will be streaming as normal for our D&D game at the Wileyverse. Again, this is the return of D&D after 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
This will be our first time in 4 weeks.
Yeah, so come join us for that. They're cursed.
We are.
It's fun.
A little more weirdness happens in the D&D game.
Yeah.
Come on, you get strangled by a rug.
All right. Dayton, take us out as Beats with brain damage. Yep, that's it. That's good.
That'll work.
See you next week, or see you tomorrow. Next week for this game, tomorrow for D&D.